5 seconds. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, Sir, I rise to support the working of the Ministry of Defence of the Government of India, and through you I would like to convey my hearty congratulations to all the defence forces, to the three wings, namely Army, Navy and Air Force, who are rendering an outstanding service for the cause of security of the nation for decades together, except for a small debacle in the year 1962. The morale of and the standard of our Army, Navy, and Air Force have been quite high in the whole world. Sir, India is a big country and it is a subcontinent. India is the only country in the world which is following an independent foreign policy and an independent defense policy by adopting the policy of non alignment, because we have a secular democracy, and to secure freedom one must have an independent foreign policy and one must have an independent defense organization. At the time of independence, the late Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said that the only possible and real objective that we have in common with the other nation is the objective of cooperating in building some kind of a world structure. Call it one world. If we think of that structure and if we think of our cooperation with the other countries in achieving it, where does the question come that we are tied up with this group of nations or that group? India always stood for independence, not only for its independence but for the independence of the human race and the entire world. It is clear from this example that just 2 years ago or so there was a conference of 103 nations in New Delhi, which was presided over by the late Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi, and all these nations independently raised their voice for freedom and social justice. If you want to make a country strong, you must have a strong defense organization. Sir, till this year, our defense budget was quite meager. When our population is so large, our resources are also very large. Our defense budget has gone up this year, which has become a topic of discussion not only in India but also outside India. The capitalist countries are afraid that India is increasing its defense expenditure. At the time of our independence, the capitalist countries, especially the United States, UK, France, etc., thought that India and the Latin American countries would become the economic slaves of those countries. But India didn't become their economic slave but formulated an independent foreign policy and an independent defense policy. The budget presented by the Prime Minister himself to Parliament on the last day of February this year has provided for an increase in the defense expenditure, and it is expected to go up from rupees 10,000 crores to rupees 12,000 crores for this year. In terms of percentage, the increase is more than 22% compared to the last year. Many honorable members have stated so many things and given much information. I am not going into all those details just now, but the thing is, when we are discussing the defense policy, One may recall that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was very emphatic about keeping defense production in the public sector because he believed that many countries in Europe were very much interested in selling their products to certain buyers so that they could honor huge profits. Once the defense production was taken out of the schedule of the industrial policy resolution, there would be far reaching of the changes in the government's policy and the character of the state will also be sharply affected. Likewise, I would like to appeal to our government. Our government did not depart from that policy. If they would have departed from that policy, defense production would have gone to private sector and it would have created the same situation that is in America. The private war machinery manufacturers will always find ways to get their profits from any corner of the world. They will create unstable situation in other countries. So from that point of view, India did not adopt that direction in respect of defense, and I hope our government will also take that line while thinking about defense production, our policy of peace. Sir, it is wrong to state that recently for the last 15 days so many fabricated episodes have been coming out of the newspapers in cooperation with the opposition parties. There was a lot of discussion on things which did not exist at all. We have wasted a lot of time. India is trying to have regional cooperation. We participated in the SARC summit and India has given a lot of encouragement for that. We have tried our level best to sort out differences with Pakistan on the basis of the Shimla Agreement. Even when President Zia was here to witness the cricket match, the Prime Minister suggested to him for the Joint Commission. Sir, our Honorable Defence Minister has said in the Lok Sabha that we will have to do something, but when are we going to have the something? Our friends said that we are having 15% of the world population in India. India is the only democratic country in the world where democracy is neither affected by capitalism nor by socialism. Our democracy is totally dependent upon the expectations of the poor masses of this country. Our democracy is an independent democracy, and that is why it is a real threat to the capitalist world. That is why they have more hearted for India. If we take out account the defense budget, it will come only 17% of the total government expenditure and 32% of the non-developmental expenditure of the central government. It will work out to more than 3% of GDP of the country. This amount is far below American expenditure.